Hey, what's going on, everyone? Welcome back to another episode of Star Wars Coffee, where in today's episode, we take a look at Rey wanting to make a double-sided lightsaber. That's today here on Star Wars Coffee.
I have spoken.
Hello there to all of the returning subscribers, but if you're new to the channel and you're just finding Star Wars Coffee for the first time, be sure to always hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and turn on that notification bell. And don't forget to check out Star Wars Coffee on Twitter and Twitch, and don't forget to check out the official Star Wars Coffee merchandise. Links are in the description below.
Do it!
And now let's go to a galaxy far, far away.
This is the way.
Rey, the former scavenger turned Jedi, has been the lead of the sequel trilogy in terms of Star Wars characters. She's been the most popular in comparison with Kylo Ren, and with that being the case, the novelization of The Rise of Skywalker focuses heavily on both of them as they are the two main characters. During Rey's training on Agent Kloss, while she's training with Leia and running her obstacle course, Rey decides that she would like to have a double-sided lightsaber. And during The Rise of Skywalker, we see Rey take a look at Luke's ancient Jedi texts from the tree that Yoda set on fire that she took without Luke's knowledge. And we see that Rey's been studying them. During the film, when she's being called, she goes and looks at them. She sees these type of things. She references Luke's writings, and she says Luke nearly found Exegol, during the film. So it's very clear and very apparent that Rey was very much into learning as much as she could about these Jedi texts, and that she's really trying to be the best Jedi that she can possibly be. And in this novelization, Rey talks about wanting to craft a lightsaber that is her own, rather than using the Skywalker lightsaber or Leia's lightsaber. So we're going to take a look at that excerpt from the novelization of The Rise of Skywalker, written by Rae Carson. Let's take a look. She eyed the unfinished lightsaber on her workbench. It wasn't ready yet. The one she'd been painstakingly repaired, Luke's, didn't belong to her. So her quarterstaff would have to suffice as a weapon, which was just fine. It had served her well on Jakku for many years. In fact, someday, once she had mastered this lightsaber building business, she might design one that felt more like a quarterstaff in her hand. Familiar and hefty. 2 business ends. Maybe with a hinge in the middle for portability. She'd learned a lot about lightsabers by reforging Luke's. His Jedi texts had offered some guidance, like how to repair the Kyber crystal, and her experience building daily tools from scavenged parts had provided the rest. Rey was confident she'd eventually finish her own from scratch, even though there was no one to teach her how. So this is actually a pretty telling excerpt from The Rise of Skywalker, and it really dives into Rey's character in just those couple of paragraphs. It tells us that Rey has much experience with this, which we knew from The Force Awakens and her opening scene seeing her as the scavenger. She's been able to do all of these things. She was able to fix the Falcon, hotwire the Falcon type of deal, so that they were able to escape Jakku from the First Order with BB-8. And then we continue to see Rey being able to reforge the Skywalker lightsaber after The Last Jedi happened, where her and Kylo Ren were in a battle with it using the Force, and it snapped. So Rey was able to repair that. So continually we see these little clues patterned in and sprinkled in throughout the sequel trilogy that indicates that Rey definitely has the ability to fix this and continue to work like she would still be on Jakku, scavenging and type of thing. So she's clearly very good with all of this. So it is worth mentioning that Rey is able to do this, and the fact that if she wants it to feel more like a quarterstaff and have 2 business ends, maybe with a hinge in the middle for portability, as the excerpt says, is something that she's going to continue to work on after we see her with her lightsaber at the end of The Rise of Skywalker with her yellow saber. So perhaps it kind of does look more like that quarterstaff if you take a look at it. It kind of has a longer hilt with a more buoyant tip to it. And perhaps in the future, as it suggests here, Rey was confident she'd eventually finish her own from scratch, even though there was no one to teach her how. So she could have started this, and this could be her first portion of it, without having the hinge for portability and a hinge in the middle to get the other side kind of like Maul's. So Rey could still clearly make her double-sided lightsaber, but if she ever does, in canon we will never know, as the Skywalker trilogy was concluded. But this does point to the fact that Rey does want a double-sided lightsaber, which I think will satisfy a lot of fans, as a lot of fans after The Force Awakens had been suggesting that Rey should have a double-sided lightsaber, as it would be really cool to see a Jedi, a prominent Jedi like this, having a double-sided lightsaber for the sequel trilogy, not only for the visual aspect of it, but just for the fact that it would provide a different type of fighting style. Let me know what you guys would think about this in the comment section down below, and let me know if you like Rey's double-sided saber idea. What color would you want it to be? Personally, I think she would stick with the yellow, and that would just kind of show that there's this kind of new era of Jedi, and I think that that's how it would go, but I don't think we'll ever get to see it, as the Skywalker saga has wrapped up. I wouldn't put it past Disney to at some point push back on it and have even more of story to the Skywalker saga, but I really hope that they don't do that unless they can bring all of the same cast back and somehow bring Adam Driver back, saying he was in the world between worlds or something like that, because otherwise there's no point, as all of the Skywalkers are dead. So unless they can bring Ben Solo back, then there's no point in it. But let me know again what you guys think in the comment section down below. Thank you guys for watching, may God bless you, and the Force be with you. If you enjoyed this episode, and frankly, even if you didn't, don't forget to subscribe.
Do it.
And if you want to help spread the word, please give this video a thumbs up and tell your friends to subscribe. Please check out the official Star Wars Coffee merchandise, and don't forget to check out all of the content playlists on this channel, including The Rise of Skywalker, The Mandalorian, and much more.